Hello, thank you for taking a moment to watch this video, and on this particular training I want to talk to you about a drop-down field as it pertains to the integration between Zoho and PhoneBurner. So as you can see here, I've got a contact record and there's a drop-down field here. It's called integration type, and there's several values that I can select here. And when you go to start a dial session to PhoneBurner, if there's data in that field, Zoho's going to send that information to PhoneBurner. So let's take a look at what that would look like the first time PhoneBurner sees that. So that's going to create a new field with the API name of that field coming over to PhoneBurner and the value that was in that field coming from Zoho. You see, Zoho doesn't tell PhoneBurner what type of field it is. It just says, hey, there's this field, integration underscore type, and a value of monday.com for this specific record. And so PhoneBurner makes an assumption that that's a text field because it's only got text in there. So what we need to do is we need to create a version of this field on the PhoneBurner side that is not a text field. So if we come back here to PhoneBurner's custom fields page, let's scroll down to the bottom and you'll see this custom field integration underscore type, and it's a text field. We don't actually want that. We want one that's named exactly the same, but it's a drop-down. So let's go ahead and create a new custom field. We're going to set it to drop down, and we're going to set some values here. One value that we know we need is this monday.com because that exists over on Zoho. And I'm just going to add one more value here. Let's go back over here. Zoho was one. Yep, let's just go ahead and put Zoho in here. And let's go ahead and save changes. Now, obviously, I just created this custom field with only two values on the PhoneBurner side, but the Zoho side has multiple values. I did that on purpose, and I want to show you why here in just a second. Let's go ahead and end our dial session because this is no longer valid information. So let's close that window. Let's also get rid of the text version of this. And I'm going to drag that field up to the top so that it's easier for us to play with in our testing. So move it up to the top. There we go. Okay, so now that we have a matching drop-down custom field on the PhoneBurner side, let's talk about how this will work. So let's start this dial session once again to Sally Prospect with monday.com as the value in there. Let's go ahead and begin that PhoneBurner session. Here you can see I've got integration type monday.com. It came over, it selected the appropriate value in PhoneBurner because it's an exact match. One of the values on the PhoneBurner side matched exactly with the value that came over from Zoho. Now let's make a change to this. Let's change that to Zoho. And let's mark this contact as interested. Now let's jump back over to Zoho, and we should see this value update on the Zoho side. So I'm going to give it a couple seconds. Now I'm going to go ahead and refresh the page. And you'll see it's updated back in Zoho with the updated value, right? I changed that value on the PhoneBurner side, dispositioned it, and now Zoho has the correct value based off of what was selected in PhoneBurner. Now let me show you what's going to happen if one of the values you've selected on the Zoho side, let's choose Salesforce for example, and let's end this dial session. I don't need this session open anymore. So let's take a look at what's going to happen when we begin a dial session to a contact from Zoho that has a value in a drop-down field that doesn't match one of the values that we already have on that field in PhoneBurner. Let's go ahead and end that call real quick here. And you'll see that PhoneBurner created a new value in the drop-down menu based off of the value that was received from Zoho. Now it also looks a little different. It doesn't have the icon, and it has a different background and a different text color. You can of course go in there and change that in PhoneBurner. If we refresh this field, you'll see that a new field has been created. I can of course adjust this if I want. Or I can set that to a different, to just have no fill. And then moving forward, it's going to match all of the others. But out of the box, it's going to look just a little bit different than any value that was created directly in the phone burner UI. Anyway, in order for this to work, the custom field name has to be an exact match for the field API name that's coming over from Zoho, unless of course you create a mapping, and that's covered in a different training. And the value that's going to be selected from the drop-down menu has to be an exact match on both systems. So whatever your values are here, they have to be an exact match here. Otherwise, new values are going to be getting created between the two systems. So always make sure that you're copying and pasting values between the two systems. Otherwise, you're going to start to run into issues. Thank you again for taking a moment to watch this video, and I hope this helps you and your team get more done in less time. Thanks again, and happy dialing.